If you've ever pulled into a parking lot and instinctively followed the painted lines without thinking twice, you're not alone. Those simple white or yellow stripes quietly guide millions of drivers every day, organizing chaos into order. But have you ever wondered why those lines are specifically white or yellow? It might seem like a small design choice, but there's actually a lot of thought, science, and regulation behind it. From visibility and safety to psychology and standardization, the color of parking lines plays a bigger role than most people realize. Today, we're breaking down why parking lines are usually white or yellow and how these colors became the universal language of parking spaces around the world. Let's dive in, right here, on History of Simple Things. Parking lines exist to create order in spaces that would otherwise be confusing and inefficient. Without them, drivers would park at inconsistent angles, waste space, or block access routes. These lines guide where vehicles should be positioned, helping maximize the number of cars that can fit in a given area while maintaining enough room for movement. They also ensure accessibility, leaving space for pedestrians, emergency lanes, and designated areas like disabled parking. In short, parking lines turn open pavement into a structured system, making it easier for drivers to navigate and for planners to manage traffic flow safely and predictably. This organization also reduces minor accidents and misunderstandings between drivers in crowded areas. White is the most commonly used color for parking lines because it is highly visible and generally associated with neutral or standard use. In most countries, white markings indicate that traffic is moving in the same direction or that the space is intended for general use. In parking lots, white lines typically separate individual parking spaces or define boundaries within areas where no special restrictions apply. The color stands out well against dark asphalt, especially during the day, and remains relatively easy to see at night when illuminated by headlights. Because it doesn't carry a strong warning or restriction meaning, white is ideal for everyday parking scenarios where clarity is needed without urgency. It also helps create a clean and uniform look across parking areas, making spaces easier to recognize at a glance. Over time, this consistency allows drivers to rely on instinct rather than actively thinking about where and how to park. Yellow lines, on the other hand, are used to signal caution, separation, or restriction. In road systems around the world, yellow commonly indicates opposing traffic flows or areas where extra attention is required. When applied to parking, yellow lines often mark zones where parking is limited, restricted, or temporarily prohibited. For example, you might see yellow lines near fire lanes, loading zones, or areas where vehicles need to keep moving. The color is intentionally more attention-grabbing than white, alerting drivers that the space serves a different function. This distinction helps prevent misuse of critical areas and reduces the risk of accidents or congestion. The use of white and yellow lines isn't just a local preference. It's part of a broader effort to standardize road markings across regions and countries. Traffic authorities rely on established guidelines to ensure consistency so that drivers can interpret markings correctly no matter where they are. For instance, manuals like the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices (MUTCD) in the United States, or similar standards in other countries, define how colors should be used for roads and parking areas. This consistency is especially important for safety because it reduces confusion. When drivers instantly recognize what a color means, they can make quicker decisions, which is critical in busy or high-risk environments. Another reason white and yellow are used comes down to visibility and practicality. Both colors reflect light well, making them easier to see in different lighting conditions, including nighttime or during rain. The paints used for these lines are often mixed with reflective materials like glass beads, which enhance visibility when headlights hit the surface. White reflects the most light, which is why it's used for general markings, while yellow provides strong contrast, especially in areas where drivers need to be more alert. These colors also maintain their visibility over time better than many other pigments, which helps reduce maintenance costs and ensures that markings remain clear for longer periods. This balance between brightness and durability makes them the most reliable choice for long-term road and parking use. While white and yellow are the most common, there are variations depending on the location and purpose of the parking area. In some places, additional colors like blue or red are used to indicate specific types of parking, such as accessible spaces or emergency zones. However, white and yellow remain the foundation because they cover the majority of everyday scenarios. Even within these colors, the pattern and placement of lines can convey different meanings, such as angled parking, parallel parking, or no parking zones. This layered system of color and design allows a simple set of markings to communicate a wide range of instructions without the need for constant signage. Parking lines may seem small, but they play a key role in keeping roads and parking areas organized and safe. The use of white and yellow isn't random. It's based on clear guidelines and practical factors like visibility and durability. White lines define regular parking spaces, while yellow lines signal caution or restrictions. Together, they form a system drivers can quickly understand, helping everything run more smoothly. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.